Speaking of coaches who could be gone, because if you remember, what was it last week or like a couple of weeks ago? The report came out that Robert Kraft had made up his mind on Bill Belichick and they were going to part ways. Yet a couple of days ago, Ian Rappaport had the report that his fate has not been decided yet. And it's going to be about the rest of the season, whether or not he keeps the job. So NFL insiders have to let me know which report's true. I mean, I tend to, I guess, agree with Rappaport because I don't think Belichick should be a lame duck coach. I also, look, I would understand if at the end of the season Robert Kraft decides to move on from Belichick. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm rooting for that to happen, but I get it. Robert Kraft has become unhappy with the direction of the team. This season looks like more of the same. But like I said, where I can agree with Rappaport is that the change has been made to Bailey Zappi supposedly for the rest of the season, as I see it, unless something were to happen to Zappi. So if Zappi all of a sudden comes in and they finish the season strong, could that not be enough for Kraft to tell Belichick now? Okay, so you have Zappi. Is he your future plans at quarterback? And if he is, can you please get him some skill position players, an offensive line, so I can see what this team's really about? Because look, Mac Jones took a lot of flack this season for the way that the Patriots have played. And yes, some of that is definitely on Mac Jones. Because like I said before, confidence was shot, decision making was all over the place. But a lot of that was also attributed to the wide receiver group not being special in terms of, guys who can create space and give him open windows to throw to. The offensive line's been up and down, very inconsistent all season. A lot of quarterbacks would struggle under those circumstances. So I can't put it all on Mac Jones, but Mac Jones obviously does not get away scot-free because of it. Now, yes, Bailey Zappi's had the same issues the past couple of weeks, yet has looked better. Now, when he first went in there, that was, understandable for him to struggle. But the Steelers game, he had the full week to prepare. You saw the first half against Pittsburgh, pretty good defense. And the offense was doing things that us Patriots fans hadn't seen most of this season. So could it be that Belichick's fate in New England hinges on Bailey Zappi? Because defensively, the defense has still been great, which is why I'm okay if Belichick sticks around after this season. Because Belichick is a defensive guy, and unlike Brandon Staley, Belichick's defenses have been performing really well. Now, I do think the conversation that might be, the overarching decision making in all of this is if Kraft approaches Belichick and says, if you want to stay here, you can be the head coach, but I'm taking the GM duties away from you. And if Belichick's okay with that, then Kraft is willing to let him stay. But if he fights that and says, I need to be GM still, then I could see Kraft saying, well, I'm sorry, then we're going to have to part ways and move on from here. Because another variable in all this is Gerard Mayo, who is the linebackers coach, kind of like assistant defensive coordinator. Look, Belichick doesn't make it really clear what a lot of his coaches actually do. Like, we know Stephen Belichick, because we see him on the sideline, is a defensive coordinator, but I feel like Mayo does have input as well. So, but yeah, Kraft is a big fan of Gerard Mayo. Would love to see Gerard Mayo be the successor to Bill Belichick. But if he kind of doesn't do it this season, I feel like Mayo is going to come up again for coaching positions this offseason. I'm assuming because he was up for them last year. And the defense, the way that they performed this year, hasn't done anything to really hurt Mayo's stock. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation because also like the report up there at the top where it says Belichick and the Patriots are destined to part ways, but the breakup is clouded in uncertainty. Gerard Mayo is a big uncertainty that plays a factor in all this. So once again, my official stance is yes, some of the draft picks recently from Belichick have come back to bite them. Yes, the quarterback position's a mess, but because the defense is still so good and the players are playing for Belichick, like if the Patriots are playing like the Chargers did on Thursday, I'd say like, yeah, Belichick's got to go. But you can't tell me a game that you've seen the Patriots play in where you've seen that kind of effort. Like I said, yes, the offense has been a mess in some of those games. That's put the defense in tough situations, but players on offense have been trying. It's just that the skill isn't there. And defensively, they have done more than enough for this Patriots team, for the Patriots to be more than a 3-win team. So I guess we'll see how the rest of the season goes. And at the end of the season, we'll revisit this, see what happens to Belichick. I just hate, that report made it seem like he was a lame duck coach because I think that's disrespectful to Belichick for all that he's done for him to be a lame duck coach. It should be at the end of the season, he and Kraft talk, mutually parting ways. I think that's the most respectful way for Belichick to leave because that seems like he's leaving on his own terms and not Kraft necessarily firing him. But yeah, you let me know which report you believe, that Belichick's gone at the end of the year because the decision's been made, or do you think he could end up being in New England next season and maybe for a couple of seasons in the foreseeable future?